Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the AMA Entertainment TV Network. I'm your host for this evening. My name is the Visual Goat, and today we have a very special guest in the building. Now, this particular guest, I don't know if y'all know. It's so much to talk about her, but we're gonna dive into that later. I ain't gonna give a long introduction into her. I'm gonna just kind of let her introduce herself quickly, and then we're gonna dive into all the facts. But if you don't know who she is, you had to be living under a rock. Um, so we have Miss Toya here today. I'll let her introduce herself, and I'll let her go into everything about herself here in just a second. So first of all, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I can't complain. What about yourself?
I'm doing good as well. Fighting these little colds, you know how it is.
Right, right. Well, you and I both then.
Yeah. So let them know who you are, what are the many things that you do, and then we'll dive into all those questions.
Well, what's up, world? My name is Toya Jones. That's Toia, not a Y, Toia Jones. I am an entrepreneur, businesswoman, a host, an actress, actress, singer, songwriter, just the girl next door. I'm every woman, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's get into it. So you said you're an actress. So do you have like what all roles have you been in that you're allowed to talk about? Because I know sometimes you can't talk about certain things until it's out. So what are some roles that you've played in so people can know like, oh well, I want to go see some of her movies that she's in or some of her plays or whatever the case may be that you've been
Yeah.
involved
Yeah, well, I started really young in theater over at Alabama State under Dr. Stewart. And from there, of course, she's teaching, singing, acting, and dancing. And so I do a little bit of everything. I've had a couple of small roles on some things that are online. Um, and the name, now that you ask me about it, is like disappeared from my mind. But yeah, so just a little small snippets, things that you've done. You have to go ahead and just name it as that, because you never know what can actually come out, of those things. So I would classify myself to be an actress, even with the small parts that I've had. I just don't despise humble beginnings. So if I think of that name, I'll actually say it while we're talking. I apologize, y'all.
no, you good. You good. It's like that. When you got so much going on, it's easy to forget stuff until you start looking at your resume. You're like, dang, I did this, I did that.
Right, right, right.
And speaking of resume, just for people that don't know, I mean, you were on season 7 of The Voice, correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Which aired several years ago. I'm not sure the exact year.
2014.
Okay, 2014.
It's been that long.
Yeah, yeah. Dang, it don't feel like it. Don't feel like it.
No, not at
uh,
all.
but so talk a little bit about that experience because you have a lot of people that can sing and they're very talented and they want to do something like that, but they're scared that they may not get the I think it's what 4 chair turns. They might not get the four chair turns. Um, and like just talk about that experience and how it was for you going at the time that you went.
Well, I had a lot of different experiences because I not only auditioned or tried out for The Voice, there were other TV shows that I tried out for, and I just wasn't lucky enough to get on. And so this last time, I said, you know what, I'm gonna try this again. I drove to Nashville, Tennessee, at maybe 12 o'clock at night, stood in line for hours and on hours. They say that it was like 50,000 people that really auditioned, and then that number just dwindled down. So I would say um, it was tough because you have to get up so early. Of course, you are competing for a spot, so it is a little nerve wracking. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I'm sorry. It is a little nerve wracking because you are trying to, of course, get on the show in the preliminary rounds. Did that, nailed it, and then that landed me actually from 50,000 people to, I think they said 300, down to two, down to 50, down to 34. So, and I did not get a four-chair turn. I only really got two chairs. So it doesn't matter if you get one or four chairs as long as you get a chair to turn. So yeah, but it was an amazing experience, a humbling one, and very fun, very fun. So I would tell anybody, go for it. It does not matter who is closing the door on you, because one door can always lead to another open door. So don't give up. Don't lose faith. Just keep going with what you know. You know, if you have an unction within you and you feel like that this is something that you can do, let nobody stop you. And so that's just what happened. Of course, people, said, well, you should just quit. You shouldn't try. But no, I don't want to live with the what if. You know what I mean?
I mean, just to make it that far says everything it is to say about you because people recognize your talent. People that some people would never think they would be in front of. I mean,
Yeah.
you had people like Adam Levine. You had people like
Yes.
who else? You had Pharrell Williams. I
Um,
mean,
the list
uh,
goes on.
yeah, Gwen Stefani. Like you had those type of people that people would be in awe of to be around, and you're around those people, and they were recognizing your talent, and there's other
Right.
people talent that was recognizing as well, but
Right.
just to be able to be in that position and then to learn things, I'm sure you picked up a lot of things from those people,
Yeah.
as well.
Because you have
So
celebrity coaches as well. I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh,
But
it's
you
fine.
have, other celebrity coaches as well that come in and help you coach, with the songs that you're singing. And of course they have vocal, teachers that are there. So it's a lot of the things. It's a lot of the things. Really
Yep,
great.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that's a amazing thing. So one last thing on that topic, like, can you talk about when you were up there and you're performing Adele's One and Only, when you got the two chair turns. Talk about how that felt to be singing that and see those chairs turn around. Like, talk about that feeling.
First of all, I was shaking in my boots. Okay. I was I was super, super nervous. Of course, because you want things to be perfect. You want to sound good, you want to look good, and you want to feel good whenever you're doing anything before people. And of course, this is like millions of people that you're doing it in front of. But when I saw those chairs turn, it was like, there is a God. Thank you, Lord. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was good. And I was just grateful that they saw my talent, and they heard, I guess, past the fear or the nervousness, that was there. So I was grateful for that.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's great. Hearing those experiences from people because a lot of time people, they know people that went to trial for the voice or they went to trial for American Idol, which is one of the other ones from back in the day, but they never got a chance to see those people like get interviews so they can talk about their experience because some people may be scared to do it, but until they can hear somebody that they've seen up there their experience, then they be like, you know what,
Yeah.
I think I can do this.
Yeah.
So it's definitely powerful and inspirational just to hear your side of things for sure. Especially coming out of the city that you come out of. So make sure you let people know what city that is.
Montgomery, Alabama. I know you didn't say state, but I'm just saying.
Before we kind of dive into the questions, a little bit more on the award show side. Can you talk about how it was being raised in Montgomery?
Oh, well, of course, I grew up in the church, and I stayed in the church. I love the town. It really does have some beautiful people here, really strong roots. Um, I went to a private school, of course. Like I said, my mom had me in a lot of different activities. I was moving about a lot. I started very, very young, doing this. Um, and Montgomery, it's just a city where there is so much talent, so much untapped talent, that's here. And so every chance I get to kind of be around those creatives, I'm always trying to just really lean in, because I remember those times. And so Montgomery kind of it has produced some really good people, well, Alabama rather has produced some really good people, that are doing, great things, in the industry now. A tight knit family, just a great city. Of course, when I was growing up, just a great city to be in. Yeah, never, like I said, just kind of bounced around, because, like I said, I started really young. So I was kind of in and out of the city. So I have different experiences, other places, different experiences here, different people. You know what I mean? But overall, it's a great, great city. Great city.
Okay, okay. So, um, let me ask you this: who would you say is your musical inspiration?
Oh, um, back then I was really inspired by Tina Turner. I listened a lot to India Ari, Rochelle Farrell, who was a phenomenal, oh my God, vocalist, jazz. Um, oh my gosh, who else? Stephanie Mills, of course. Marvin Cease, Marvin Gaye. Um, I'm all over the place when it comes to my inspiration. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's good because I mean, you can learn something from everybody, right? So,
right.
you being able to see all that helped you, you know, form into successful person that you've become. So,
Thank you.
um, so actually, I before I leave off of the topic of the voice, I do want to throw a couple more questions in there about that, just because there's a lot of up and coming talent, especially in the state of Alabama, that
Yeah.
that's untapped, like you said before. So, how do you feel being on the voice changed your confidence as an artist, even after being eliminated?
Um, well, of course, it just put the cherry on top. It validated me in some ways. Of course, things that I was already told growing up. Um, of course, things that I already felt on the inside of me, it just kind of pushed me over the edge a little bit to say I really can do this, because it's a lot of pressure when you have so many people that's looking, judging, critique. You know what I mean? So it did put fire on the inside of me. I left there and I signed a deal with a blues artist. So I was under him for a while. I got a chance to tour with him. Um, so it just gave me the push that I needed at that time. You know what I mean? To further my career, or do whatever it was that I felt that I needed to do. So yeah, of course it was a boost of confidence.
Okay, that's good because some people may look at it as, oh man, I didn't make, I didn't win it all, I didn't win, I wasn't one of the, the final, one or two people, so they
Yeah.
think it's a failure when it's really not, because it's like,
No.
people were seeing your talent, acknowledging your talent, and so on and so forth. You got to think this is out of millions of people probably auditioned, and then you made it down to the last 32, 33 people.
Yeah.
Um, so is there anything that the show taught you that you still use to this day,
Uh,
or maybe even the celebrity coaches taught you at that
to
time that
just
you?
to just be fearless and just take a moment to just breathe and take it all in, because I know when you're in the motion of something, sometimes you can just be moving, 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 and not really absorbing what's going on. And so I think that that's one thing that it taught me, to really be in the moment, be present. That's the thing. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, all right. So I'm gonna two more questions about it, and then I'll
Okay.
leave it alone.
Okay, go
uh,
ahead.
it's just not often that you get a chance to ask a celebrity question. So you want to make sure you get those in for everybody else that's watching. You know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
can be able to understand certain things. So,
Yeah.
um, so what do you think the biggest misconception that people have about artists after a TV competition?
Well, that's a good question. Um, I think the biggest misconception is that they've arrived. I think that's the biggest misconception. I think that people feel when they have gotten on the big stage, not even the people, but some artists as well. You feel like, oh, because I've done this, it stops here. But no, people, they often ask, well, did they sign you? Could they do this? Could they do? But no, you got to still keep going. You have to still keep going, and what you can do is leverage that. You can kind of, um, I guess, work off of that, if that makes sense. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, yeah, no, it does. It
Okay.
does, it's just basically you're saying, but people needs to, of course, once they realize like, hey, just because you're on there, you haven't arrived. Yeah, people know about you now, but you still have to put the work in. You still have to grind.
Yes.
Keep going. So yeah, you answered it. Last question on that topic: if you could redo one moment on The Voice, what would it be?
If I could redo one moment, I have two moments.
Okay,
Well,
well, give
no,
me
I
both.
won't. I won't mention. I won't. I won't mention that one. I, I would have to do. I'm sorry. I'm showing all my teeth just then. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Um,
you good? I would have had to bring out the Laporte like Shay Shay do, so I can make you say the other.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. No. One moment, I think I would change my audition. The song that no, I don't think I would have changed the song. I think I would have been a bit more confident, in knowing that if the Lord allowed me to get to this place, I need to be confident enough to know that it's gonna do what it do, if that makes sense. So that's the only thing that I probably would change. Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's dive into a few little questions about the award show. Um, so how long have you known about the Alabama Music Award show?
Um, Probably, to be honest, maybe about 5 years.
Okay, okay,
hmm
cool.
And I really
Um,
came to know a little bit more about it, of course, once I was asked to be on the show. And I was
mhm,
really, really excited because I really didn't know that um, all of that was going on. So
mhm.
I was excited to actually see, the artists, the comedians, the DJs, the everybody that's being brought for that night. Super, super dope night.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about your first time at the award show. That first time that you went, and you were a part of it. Describe that experience. Describe what is it that you accomplished that day, and then the aftermath following that.
Um, well, first, upon my arrival, I was really just taken aback just by how everything was staged outside. They had the red carpet, everybody was dressed beautifully. They had people interviewing people. I met some really beautiful, amazing, talented people that day. A lot of DJs and a lot of interviewers, I guess. Is that a word? Interviewers? Did I
Yeah,
say that?
interviewee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I met a lot of people that day that I wasn't aware of until that day. I just loved how everything came together. Everybody was so friendly. There were many different stations throughout the course of the day before the actual award show, and everything was it was smooth, and it was right on time. I was really really excited to be a part of it. Anytime I'm excited for that award show
okay. So
because it's in
so you
Alabama.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And Alabama is a lot of times late to the party on things compared to other states. So to
Yeah,
be able to have an award show and it be as humongous as it is in the state of Alabama is amazing.
yeah.
Because of course you always want to support your home state. So you came in there, you were a part, you enjoyed the experience. Um, what were you hosting at the time, or were you just being a spectator or whatever?
No, I was just there. I can't remember if I won an award or not that
Okay.
year, but I was invited to be there, and so I went, and it was good. They had VIP lounges, like I said, throughout the course of the day. As you're moving along, you have people ushering you in different areas to do different interviews. It was just a well put together night, and I was really proud. I was really proud to actually be a part of it and to actually, as you said, spectate, you know, to see everything. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So kind of on that same topic a little bit. After you left the award show that year, in any other year, like just from now, from then that first time going to now, like what are your thoughts of the award show? Like how like what how does that put your view of your state in perspective?
It just validated what I already knew.
Mhm.
You know, it confirmed that I know we are a great state. We are a state that is, I mean, full of so much talent and possibilities. If anything, I was geeked more than anything because, like I said, I was excited because I'm like, wow, okay, Alabama, like we doing it like this. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I was just excited to be a part of something that was positive. It was shining a positive light on our past, our present, and our future. And that to me, chef's kiss. It was
Yep.
good.
Yep. I agree. I agree. Um. So let's see.
It
Um.
sounds like you trying to get deep in the conversations, Shannon Sharp.
No, I ain't gonna go too deep. I had to skip around on a couple of different things. You know, I got questions about it, a little something to everything. But
Okay, okay. I want to say thank you for the skip around. Okay.
um, I guess the last thing that I would say, the last question that I would ask you about the AMAs before we wrap things up is, what do you think makes being a part of the Album Music Award show? Because I think you helped host before, right?
Yes.
So you hosting that event compared to you hosting other events. What was the difference between those two? Like what makes working it so different for?
It was my state. Of course you
Mm,
got to rep where you from first. And it
right.
was the fact that, I was amongst the creatives. Well, I'm going to use this, the locals, I guess, because we're from the same place.
Hmm.
Um, so it was just the fact that I was able to share a night with so many beautiful people, so many creatives, and to, like I said, just be a part of that. That to me was the most beautiful thing. Just being able to serve the people, I guess, in your backyard in that capacity who maybe haven't been to something like that, for them to see something new because you can open up new doors, for people, their minds rather, this may start off small to some, but you never know where it may take them, you know. So yeah, it was just because this Alabama, like what?
Yeah, yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
be excited about it. I mean,
yeah.
it's our state. You got to rep the state, and it's gotta, I mean, you've already put on for the state in a major way just by,
Thank you.
doing everything that you've done. So, um, to be able to see you at the award show, also supporting your state while you're putting the state on the map is an amazing thing. So,
Yeah,
I want to make sure that I give you your flowers for that if nobody else has. So,
thank you. I
no
appreciate
problem at all.
that.
So, is there anything else you want to let the people know, whether it be something that you got coming up before we get out of here?
Well, just have new music coming up. Hopefully it'll be out very, very soon. I do want to share my social media, if
For
that's
sure.
okay with you. I also want to let the people know that here in Montgomery, I do have an all things beauty business here. It's called Eye Candy Boudoir, and we specialize in brows, lashes, just awakening the beauty in women. It's not just enough to do a service, but it's just the stories, the time that you get to share with the ladies, the transformation, of them. So if you guys are in Montgomery, look up Eye Candy Boudoir, 2846 Zelda Road in the capital city of Montgomery, and be on the lookout for the new music. And my handle on social media is ITSTOIAJONES. Look me up. Don't make me come and find y'all.
Yeah, y'all pull them phones out right now. Click on
Who the
Instagram.
phone?
Click on Instagram. Click on TikTok. All these places and look it up.
11, you're gonna see me doing a little bit of everything, showing
Yeah.
my creative side in whatever way, whether it's hair, whether it's lashes, brows, singing, just me being funny. It's everything Toya, I guess, if you will. So it ain't no rhyme or reason. I'm just being myself.
Right. Right. Right.
So
I got
yeah.
you. I got you. Okay. Well, everybody that's out there watching, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. You all have just watched another episode of the AMA Entertainment TV Network, and we'll
Yes.
see you all on the next episode. We are out.